There we go. I incited my own interruption.
You gotta throw up a little bit as Bread told me.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, do
It's
you?
gotta be like you're about to.
Alrighty. Everybody,
I did it!
welcome back to Nat19.
Penis.
Vestige of Ophiuchus, Campaign 1, Session... Session Penis. Session 89. We've come so far. Look how far we are. We're almost 90 sessions in. This is...
69
Look
plus
how far we've come. Look.
That's crazy. That's
Wild.
It's a damn heckin' cool thing, is what that is. Alright. We're back. It is currently a date at a time, and we're at a place. And these are the boys. Hey, the boys, all of you indiscriminately say hello in your own special way all at once. Go.
How you doing? Hey, how you doing? I'm one of the boys.
It's true, though you didn't have to fight quite so hard for it. I'm going to roll a d20 or a d8 to determine who is going to tell us what happened last time in meticulous detail, including all of the lore that you learned, all the lore stuff.
Oh no, it's not Slytherin.
1,
Not Slytherin.
2, 3, 4. Bread.
No, really?
Slytherin!
The punishment
What the fuck did happen?
Gryffindor, no.
Oh no! Not Slytherin. So we got to this tower, and there was this Nephilim, and we were like, "Let us in, please." And he was like, "I don't know." And Flux was like, "Pretty please." And Pythius was like, "You know what? Yeah, come in." And we went in, and he was like, "Oh, hold on, gotta let one of your homies in." And wasn't one of our homies, turned out to be Nemric. And Nemric's been following us, or stalking us as he likes to say, and he's a fucking problem. Indeed. And then Pythius showed up and was like, "Alright, to get through the portal that the cauldron to get through into the cauldron, you need 2 tests."
Wow, this fell apart fast and very, very abruptly.
There are two tests. 2 tests. One of mindfulness, which we did, and one of strength, which I guess is now.
Why does that wording tickle me? Which I guess is now. I guess that's what this is.
Now.
Just imagine Fenris, like, being the one explaining things as if they're in front of a projector and just on, which I guess is now. They just, like, point to the projector with Typhon showing up, like, huge on the projector. Which is this. This is that. That's this. Okay!
It's like a TV show, and Fenris is the one who has to break the 4th wall to explain the fucking
Oh,
last.
It's the Arnkar
Yeah.
Encyclopedia from Bleach,
Yeah.
except Fenris.
Oh no.
Yes.
But heckin', yeah. I mean,
That was kinda.
that was basically what happened. The glass-like wings appear from behind the watery avatar of Pythius. As he begins to drift around the area, hands clasped behind his back. The various roars of the many heads of this creature echo throughout the chamber around you, bouncing off the smooth walls of this chamber. The writhing mass seems to turn its attention in many directions at once, but mainly, it's going to turn towards Vogan.
Here we go.
It shambles towards you, pulling itself through the water.
I knew this day would come.
Indeed. Since it can only do the one attack, it is going to attempt to do against you. It's going to attempt to do a flurry of bites.
That sounds like more than one attack.
Flurry of blows, but chomp.
What is it? Sorry, no, it's, no more than one, It
Flurry
comes
of
in,
nom.
many of its heads immediately come in at once and try to pile in on you. Its body effectively tries to engulf you as the many heads attempt to bite down into you. Here it goes! It's gonna have disadvantage, and it's not gonna care, it hits.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna, exemplary deflection.
Okay.
Good call.
I will hit half. As it comes in to bite you, you take.
Ugh.
You absorb the, what would that be, the 19 damage that does afterwards. As it hits, you also notice that several of the wounds that it suffered are steaming and begin rapidly closing.
Fucking regen.
Oh no.
Regen indeed.
It's like, oh
Ready.
god.
What a
Good.
movie.
Good movie.
Stay strong, sir! And I hurl just a mason jar of spiders at him.
Oh god.
So you take 1d4 damage from the jar being thrown at your skin. I'm cut by glass and also simultaneously being treated for my glass wounds!
It's an imperfect process, I grant you. Still in the kind of prototype stages.
Oh, that looks terrifying.
Maybe I could take the spiders out before administering.
Maybe you cannot make fucking spiders!
No, that's impossible. They have to be spiders. It doesn't work otherwise.
No need to reinvent the wheel, Master Vogan. Okay, then you rocket back away from it as you come in, heal Vogan, fire your blast into it, the various heads let out snake-like screaming as you push it back and rocket back away from it yourself. That takes us to Sunder, and Miriam is on deck.
Sunder is going to bonus action use the his frost rune.
Okie dokie.
Gets second a bonus to his strength and constitution checks
And saves.
and saves. Then he's gonna run over, and he's gonna try and knock it prone if it can be knocked prone.
Nice. Get it.
Yeah! Yeah!
Do you want me to use the generic action tab? I
Yeah.
know we've been having trouble with like when it comes to things having advantage.
Try it, and if it doesn't do what we want it to, we'll just look at the result and be like, this actually happened.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Cannot shove us. Oh, it still says he's medium.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, we'll just do it manually. So
Okay.
that was,
That's a 20.
20.
Nice.
It rolled a 12.
Ah! Hooray!
Get up.
He pushes it over onto its side. Do you have an effect to apply for? I'll do it. You know, it'll take me less time.
No. But, I mean, he does for dash and deal, but eh. This
All
is
right.
more fun.
You said it. Eh.
All right, he fucking just picks it up and slams it onto the ground, onto its side.
Whoa.
He pushes it down as it tries to bite into him. Water erupts and splashes. A small wave echoes across the room from where it is, collides with the water.
He's going
Don't
to
do
he's then going to do a Sword of Winter attack on him.
Okay, go for it.
Hi-ya!
He strikes. He hits.
Woo! Take that.
It takes 13 damage. Fenris.
Alright, let's see if this works.
You need to talk a lot faster.
Oh, right. Alright, let's see if this works. Everyone hold on. Careful, don't singe your eyebrows off. I'm casting Flame Strike.
Oh no.
Okay.
I'm gonna make him do the save. How are you in dexterity, my boy?
Not good enough.
Yes.
That is 4d6 and 4d6, so 8d6.
So the thing I'll do.
Ah!
So real quick, just so you know, want to be a 10-foot radius? Yeah, you could have just fit it. Fire erupts from up above, comes down into it, strikes it. Yeah, you deal radiant damage to it. Nice. It takes 27 damage. It takes the full damage.
Oh god,
go,
I didn't
go.
singe anyone's eyebrows off. Just Vogan turns around, even bolder! Alright. Gonna hit it with the hammer. And then, if it hits, I think I'm gonna Stygian Snap on top of this.
Okay.
Is she always that fast?
Sometimes.
On occasion.
Oh.
That hits.
What,
Oh, shit.
really?
Really?
It slowed.
It's
Oh, you're right.
He's big and slow.
You're welcome.
He's big and slow.
yeah.
His AC is
Whoa.
low, so. Oh, that was good.
You deal 23 damage.
Damn.
You
And
guys,
then I
you
have a-
guys are bullying
I-
this thing.
I have a stitch.
Damn right.
Sir. Sir.
We're not good at puzzles, but we're good at killing.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So good at killing.
I
We
built
solved
him
your
for
murder
one
puzzle,
It
specific-
Logan.
succeeds.
That's fine.
Damn.
It takes half. It takes 4 damage from the Stygian snap.
That's fine.
That's sad.
That's
I
really
know.
funny.
Yeah.
I rolled well on my other stuff.
Alrighty. Miriam, Fenris, you're on deck.
Akidaki.
Miriam's gonna move back out. Get to there. Let me. Where can I do from? I cast Polymorph on Vogan,
Oh,
and I'm gonna
I am
turn
now
him
turtle.
into. Yeah, definitely turtle. I'm gonna turn him into Voganosaurus Rex.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Nom nom nom! Oh my god, my sheet changed. Oh,
Whoa.
oh my god. Okay, cool. I have multi-attack. Wonderful.
Oh, that's a big.
And a deck in here.
You shift, you become a T-Rex. You do find that in this space, you are finding it difficult to stand at full height, so you're a bit scrunched up against the 25-foot ceiling.
Yeah, T-Rexes are more about length than height. It's fine.
Is that you?
I was just add like another
That's
9
Miriam.
hairs
I
for
want
your
to
tail.
point and laugh.
Tiny T-Rex hands.
That's outstanding.
I don't know if you're here, but I'll send you money for that.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. I'm gonna run up.
Even
I ran
more
up.
money if GIF. Like,
Yes.
oh.
Oh my god, yes.
I'm gonna do a 4th level inflict wounds.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
Alright.
Yum.
Smackety,
Oh.
smackety, smackety, smack.
It's time for you to get your.
You rush
snap.
up,
Yep.
you put your
Did it?
hand on it, go ahead and roll the attack roll.
Yeah.
Oh!
You get a crit,
This is so mean.
roll your damage.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
As you put your hand on it and you pump it full of necrotic energy, you find that it does not react to the energy at all.
Oh, it's immune.
I figured as much, but when you said you did radiant damage, they take all of it. I was like, oh, it's resistant or immune to something.
Yep.
I'm sorry. It takes you definitively discover it is immune to necrotic damage.
That's the saddest thing.
Oh,
Immune?
You deal 0 damage.
Fuck.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Alright. Okay.
There was no way we could have known. There was no way.
I'm just gonna hit it with my fucking hammer.
At least you can still do that. That's good.
Yeah, at least you can back.
Grumpy face Fenrir's like, oh, boom. Oh, there's another crit! There's another crit!
The cleric is pissed.
I said crit.
I miss you too, Fenris. Oh my god. Okay.
Holy shit.
That deals 45 damage.
And then I'm gonna do a little classic. I'm gonna do a little running away. Gonna do a little cheeky.
A little bit of a get out of here.
Oh my god.
I
That
taste
was
iron.
insane.
Fucking right.
Hey guys, I just realized
Huh.
I'm as strong as a T-Rex when I wield that hammer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
So basically, just gave you
Horrifying.
health with this, huh?
Yeah. This gave me health.
Yeah. Alright. Is that you?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm thinking. gonna check with the class first. Cool. I'm gonna run over here.
Do it. Get it.
And I'm a Bappa boy.
I wanna crit as a T-Rex. I wanna do it.
So bad.
That hits.
Hell yeah!
And I'm gonna attempt a seizing strike.
Do your damage first.
Get him.
Yee. You're right.
You do 10 damage. All right, now roll for the seizing
Above
strike.
a 3, I'm about it. All right, you
Come
bitch.
on.
Yeah!
Roll low.
It rolled
Get
a
him!
1. And this is where I must upsettingly inform you that this Typhon has legendary resistances.
Yeah.
No!
As you will find many things do when it's the entire party against one creature in Vestige.
I'm not using it against the slow.
That's
Boo,
dumb.
I said.
And it is going to use
Ooh, indeed.
one of possibly many. Who's to say? It's going to use one. Because if it didn't,
one.
that's it. That'd be the fight.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds fine with us.
Yeah, I know you want it.
I tried. I really fucking tried, guys.
It's okay. You
That's
made
one
it
of my-
use it.
Yeah.
You
I
made
did.
it use
I
it.
did.
yeah.
I made it burn a
resistance.
legendary resistance. Fine. I'm gonna hate it again.
As you go to strike it, you pierce through one of the heads, one of the snake heads, one of the larger ones, trying to cause it to seize up, and that snake head does. But as it sees this happening, one of the other snake heads reaches over, bites into the neck of that snake head, and rips it off its own body to prevent the effect from affecting the rest of it.
Oh, shit.
God.
That should have.
So we just gotta kill all the heads.
So I guess I just have to
All
tell
right.
you. Innate dexterity. Hiya.
Yeah, you.
God,
That
I'm
hits.
so
Nice.
glad I have advantage.
Yeah.
That was the second one, but I saw a 1 and I was like, yeah. Well, there's the 1.
There it is.
That's all I can do. I tried. Bye.
Good call.
All right. T-Rex Vogan!
Eats thunder.
You said it, T-Rex Vogan!
He got what he wanted.
That's a crit! You deal a lot of damage. You reach down and bite into Typhon and lift it up and thrash it from side to side, dealing 90 damage to it as heads begin to fall off of its body. Oh my god.
And then tail whip!
That hits.
Lower his defense.
Next one make 3 damage. The most enthusiastic dinosaur in the world.
I'm gonna move back by 30 feet, and then I'm just gonna go for some attacks.
Alrighty.
Hiya.
That's a crit.
Holy shit!
You're taking
Hiya.
my keys, and I'm a little mad
How
about
do you want to do this?
So upon seeing this and the T-Rex biting down and then whipping it with the tail, I'm just noticing the big maw that is in the center. As the tail whips it around toward me, I aim with Grudge Knock, and I just let fly straight through the middle of the main maw,
Fuck
exploding
yeah.
it out with flames.
Oh, hell yeah, Nemric Vogansaurus. Combo attack! Oh.
Having been subjected to the sum total of 4 rapid criticals
Yes.
5 if you
on
don't- if you
high
can't roll it,
output
doesn't count.
attacks, the Typhon falls back, lifeless on the ground, and its body begins sinking down into the water below it.
I roar!
Hell yeah.
Attempting to join
That off.
Vogan.
You're right.
Well,
Listen, you got 2 good attacks in on me.
Sometimes the party just does nothing but crit, and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I would absolutely say that was a fine showing of might. Looks up towards the dinosaur.
I drop concentration.
You're a dork.
No.
Shut up.
Well, with that, I suppose. You've all earned your passage. But before you head out, why don't you head upstairs so we can talk face to face? As you guys enter, you see the walls, as I said, are effectively just large panes of very thick glass looking out into mists that surround the area. There's a general view of the outside of the cauldron, just the terrain going into the distance, as well as you can see that from here you can see the water inside the shores of the cauldron. They extend farther than you're able to see. As I've explained before, they disappear off into the mists. Whenever you guys take a quick look around this chamber, which is well lit, you can't see the sources of light, but it appears to be well lit. You see the physical form of Pythius standing, looking out of one of the windows, out in the direction of, not towards the cauldron, but out towards the skywall. His back to you all when you enter.
Delivery.
This is quite the surprise. I'm not really sure how to handle you all being here at this point. Truth be told, he doesn't turn to meet you as he begins talking. I didn't actually know what I would do if I had company come inside. I thought I could turn you away. I'd like to offer you some food or a drink, but I'm afraid I don't have any.
That's fine.
No inconvenience?
As of this point, I have set a test out for you to complete. At this point, he turns, looks towards all of you. Looks relatively humble, very quaint smile on their face. At this point, you've completed the test I set out for you, and I suppose it's only fair that I allow you to proceed. I would warn against it, but there's nothing I can do to stop you. Except for one thing. If you want to enter, there is something of a contract I'd like you to sign into. Nothing magical, just an agreement, if you are good people who care about the outside world. Many people have come before all of you. Most, whenever they enter, end up understanding the importance of it. Whatever you find within the skywall, within the cauldron, rather, I would like you to agree to take as much of it to your grave as possible. The cauldron contains things for a reason, and there's many things within it that aren't meant for the outside world. Heroes have come and gone before you. Some have left. Many keep its secrets. Some don't. I request that you do.
May I request a small addendum to this contract?
You don't have to sign anything. You can do whatever you want.
I understand, but for the sake of your hospitality, to show goodwill, I would attempt to follow your wishes as much as possible. My master has made it her life's work to learn everything about this place. And I would like to share whatever information I can with her once we return. I promise you that if we were to find anything dangerous, or any dangerous information, she would be the last person in the world to spread it to those who would use it. She would only wish to learn as much about our world as she can, and if any of that information would help others, that is what she would be interested in.
I see. So you wish to sate the curiosity of somebody else, who spent their entire life trying to learn about what is contained within the cauldron.
That is correct.
Ah, that is worthwhile. No.
No?
I made my request of you. I would like you to not spread any information from inside to anybody outside. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, and I'm not going to force you. Understand, it's not me making this request. It's my station. I was put here to make sure that certain things were protected. And if I'm to let somebody through, this is a request that I must make. It's not for my benefit. So, trying to appeal to my sense of kindness is pointless. If I had any agency in the matter, I would have left this place.
I understand.
That said, I don't really care. You won't hurt my feelings or anything.
What might happen if we were to speak of this place's secrets?
It depends on what you find and what you tell people. There are things that are contained within that you may never even stumble across, and this may not even become an issue. But, in particular, there are certain things I'm not allowed to tell you that you may learn when you're inside. But I believe I touched upon it before. Within the cauldron is the site of where the raw material that was used to craft all constellaquaries, idolic and otherwise, was found. At least to our knowledge. To our understanding, that material has been completely used up. But there is a chance that there's pockets of it. And if people were to find out that that resource were there, it is very much the way of mortals to seek out weaponry that surpasses their enemies, and the outside world is turbulent. Our most direct concern is that people would try to make use of that material. They would come here searching for it. And the more people come here, the greater the risk that the delicate balance between the cauldron, the rift within it, and the outside world would be disturbed. This place needs to be left alone.
Agreed.
As to the specific details, I don't know who's running it now. It may be the same as before, but there is a Nephilim settlement within the cauldron itself that if you're given permission by me to enter, which you have been, they will serve as a guide for whatever you need within. That way you don't find yourself getting too lost. So, seek them out. Apart from the raw materials of the constellaquaries. The main thing that I would ask that you don't try to dig up is the cauldron is the gravesite of many things that endangered the old world, such as the Sword of Damocles. Do not attempt to remove them, if at all possible.
Would you take any offense if we destroyed the Sword of Damocles?
As soon as you're out of this tower, I don't care what you do. I can only give you the guidelines that I should be set to enforce. If it so happens that you do end up doing anything that is detrimental to the fate of the world, if you cross any lines, I'm not the one who will deal with you. You would likely cause a silver counter to appear. But that hasn't had to happen in a long time.
What is a silver counter?
A silver counter is a particular sort of Nephilim. You've been told before where we came from. a mass of memories and experiences that is recycled and reused. A silver counter is a particularly wasteful use of our resources. Entire generations worth of Nephilim are coalesced, merged together, and summoned as a sort of heroic figure that appears in the world and deals with something that the gods or our own directives deem to be dangerous. Usually, to prevent something world-ending from happening. That falls within our purview anyways. We don't do that because creating a silver counter is destructive to the abiding heart. We Nephilim have a limited resource of experiences and memories, and as we create more Nephilim, they're destroyed. If we put too many resources into making a single person, whenever they die, they can't possibly give back as much as they took. But if you were to, for example, try to use the knowledge within the cauldron against the outside world, it may happen.
This is all very interesting. I'm just unconcerned. I don't feel we'll cross any threshold that at least we can deal with. I mean, I'm fine with it if Diane tries to and fails.
I would like to enforce that I don't mean to frighten you. Silver counters are something that have only appeared a few times throughout history. Things would have to cross quite a grievous line. I just thought I'd satiate your curiosity on the matter.
Understood.
Your information's most appreciated. It's good to fully understand what the stakes are.
If you are headed to try to prevent somebody else from taking from the cauldron, then that's great. We're very happy to have you doing that, so I'm sure the other Nephilim will be very happy to assist you. In the meantime, he turns back and looks out the window again. You'll be safe here. Things can't get inside here unless I allow them to. If you would like to take a break and rest, feel free to. But whenever you're ready to go, let me know and I'll open up the way for you to leave. As you guys eat and prepare, Pythius regards all of you. Is it about time? Do you want to be released from the tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be.
Yes, please.
I wish you luck. I do not know where the Nephilim settlement inside is, but I have every confidence that you'll be able to find it. As he says this, he directs you all towards the elevator. As you get onto it, presumably, unless any of you are anti-elevator now, you get on the elevator. It moves down. As it does, the other side of the outer side of the elevator, against the edge of the area, becomes the same glass-like substance, so allowing you to see out into the direction of the cauldron. And as it does, you can see the water below, and the path that I had described to you before that remains within the water, the one that was just like an inch down under the water, but you could see from the ground outside. You see it beginning to move. Large pillars with chains connected to it along the side, each one about 30, 40 feet between each other, begin to rise up out of the water, and with it, they pull this path up, and it raises up about 60 feet out of the water. As you descend on the elevator towards it, this bridge spanning into the distance within the mist raises up. You notice there, as it does, chains on it seem to raise up on the sides of it to form a sort of railing along it. And whenever you move forward, whenever you get to the bottom, it clicks into place, and you are left with this expansive path about 60, 50 feet up in the air above the water, with the mist just hanging below it, as if it can't breach the bridge. You witness that, and you are left with just a path forward, expanding out far enough that you lose sight of it in the distance.
Oh.
Oh.
A door
Away we
opens.
go.
The glass panels move to the side. open you up to an almost Stygian cold in front of you. Instantly, this frosty feeling creeps down into your bones as soon as you're exposed to the outside. Your hands clam. You shiver.
All right.
Away we go.
Yep.
Here we go.
No turning back.
You guys step forward. Out onto the pathway. Beginning to move inwards towards what you presume to be the distant shores of the landmass that should be within the center of the cauldron.
Hooray!
I'd like somebody, I don't care who, you guys can decide, somebody roll me 1d4.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
You're a buggle.
I at least asked.
Okay, wait, I need to know. Hayden, also roll it. I want to know if you would have done better than him.
We don't
Yeah.
know what this is for.
God damn! It's true, we don't know what this is for.
We could have been attacked by 4 dragons instead of 2.
All right, my bad.
You're
4 sapphire dragons.
Oh,
Damn.
anyway.
Still waiting for you when you actually use that.
I mean, at this point, you guys are
Same
beyond it
bitch.
enough that it wouldn't be a huge encounter. Like, it would be,
Yeah.
but it's, like, not the biggest. As you guys move forward, you end up walking on this thing for a couple of hours.
Haha, it's only 2 hours instead of 4.
As you walk forward, you find the scenery doesn't particularly change as you go along. The mists remain thick. You find that they don't seem to be able to breach the top of the tower, or the top of the bridge, as I had said before. There are these constant sets of pillars that are out on the side, removed from the tower, that seem to, like, hold it up, that are about 45 feet between each other, one on either side, lines of chains tightly bound from them to the bridge that you're on. As you move forward, though, Lexi, you have the highest passive perception. I always ask, it's Lexi.
It's Lexi.
You hear what sounds like a sonic boom
Huh.
from up
I
above
also
you.
have a
Just to Lexi still wins.
Oh,
You-
no, I'm just saying. I also have
You're the first one. Your fox ears twitch as you're the first one to hear just a from above you.
Huh.
What?
Instantly look up. Guys,
Look up.
what is it?
looking up.
Oh no.
As you look up,
Oh,
you hear again. As you see cracks begin forming in the air above you. Red light
What the hell's
pours
that?
down through these grass-like cracks and seams that begin forming in the air.
Oh.
Oh no.
There's a flash from a ways beyond you down the bridge. There's this flash of red light in the mist, and then another from back the way you came. As you see, as if reality, as if the material that comprises the air breaks apart into fragments of glass that shatter downwards as a ruby gate in the air above you, just this massive fissure, large enough to darken the area with the same reddish glow as it, suddenly erupts and rips itself clean. As it does, the mist around you seems to spread, as if pushed back by the force of this thing opening. The mists part, leaving this circular area where the mist seems to swirl around. You hear a voice, familiar to some of you and not to others, echo down.
We are the Hound of Hell. Not a man, not a fiend.
As you see a massive, gigantic, shadowy form of a black knight begin descending, holding a great sword in front of it, both hands upon it, blade pointed down.
A force of nature that ceases only when the world is empty and all bodies lie still. We are inevitable. A curse to the curse.
It takes one hand off the great sword and moves it aside, swinging it with such force that you see some of the mists part as if cleaved apart by it.
Poison to the poison. Fear now, for we are legion. and we have fallen now upon you!
It suddenly drops, slamming into the bridge. About 50 feet, 60 feet in front of you. I'm going to share a map.
What?
Woo.
Why would you do that?
I can't imagine why I
so
would do
this
that.
is Legion.
We're just gonna talk. I
Just
just want to
wanna
talk.
talk to him.
I just
wanna
want
I
talk to
just
him.
want to
this
talk to
guy.
him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk. I just want to kill them for Lady Fiona. I just want to talk to him. Sunder, you're still
It's
big.
Flux, why'd you
Oh.
have to
Again.
piss this thing off?
God
I'm so
damn it.
sorry. I didn't
Damn
mean
it,
to.
Flux.
Sunder, you're always so big.
I understand if you have to leave me to him as a sacrifice.
As you
Logan,
do.
just leave him big. Just leave him big.
No, we're gonna do this right.
Just leave him big. Just leave him big.
As he slams down. It's been quite some time since you all saw Legion, so I'm gonna go ahead and put his art up again.
Yeah!
Oh, unless his art doesn't want to be in the game, in which case I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no.
He's just camera shy.
God, he's so huge.
No wonder is worthy
Each of you, each of you at your tallest, only coming out to about halfway up one of his calves, barely making it to the top of where his boots would end if he were wearing them. He stands, his massive, imposing form, bathed in the red light of the gate that remains above you. As you see, you hear the sounds of small, almost paw pads, stepping upon the bridge. Looking back, you see snarling hounds, fire emanating from their mouths, walking up. Beside them, and behind you, some of you see the familiar image of a certain chain devil that you had fought once before. Chains around the bridge begin moving and shifting as if animated, and you just hear coming from behind you. In front, more of these dogs seem to step forward. One sec, as I'm going to make everything visible on this map. That should have done that.
You made Legion invisible.
I made Legion invisible! Well,
I don't need to deal with an invisible Legion.
Yes, no thank you. No.
You all step
You
forward.
do not see us, for we are spooky.
For we are many, many hiding. Can't see us if we're many. It has taken me quite some time to find you. Sorry.
I swear to God.
It's
I didn't
true,
catch
you're
a word
almost
of what you said.
a half a month late.
There are more of you than there were before.
Yeah, you should just let those ones go.
Medium.
The red furnace-like fire that burns inside this suit of armor. Despite having no eyes, you feel as if its vision Nemric locks onto you briefly.
Fairy! I recognize you. Are you here to stand against me?
Good seeing you, Legion. Sorry, but it is part of my duty.
I have no compunctions about killing you with them. I have landed on this. I am a generous hunter. With the counsel of Lady Fiona to be considered, I will take the life of that doll that haunts my nightmares and the constellaquaries of those who carry them. Surrender these, and I will leave you in peace.
If that is a decision that you all would like to make, I hold no ill will against you.
Oh, well, I guess I gotta get naked and you gotta die. I mean, you know, that's the only way.
I don't think we'll be doing that.
start adjusting my scarf and start undoing the top few buttons.
Oh, Miriam.
What? Are we not doing that one? Oh, I mean, I'm down for both. I'm down for us to start putting them back up.
Are you certain? Legion is a very dangerous foe. He is not to be underestimated. I appreciate this. I'm sorry.
I don't want to give
brought
him
it
my
upon
shit.
you all.
That's mine. You can't have it. If you thought I was actually... I guess I'm a better liar than I thought I was. No, this is mine. You can't have it.
No, I'm
I
right
stole
there
it fair and square. Do you know
glad
how many
we all
people want
feel
to
that
kill
way.
me because of this? At least one, and they're awful.
Just as well. I was hoping you wouldn't comply.
It raises up the great sword. You see him lift just a foot above the ground, floating. The dogs begin barking. The chains begin rattling. I'd like everybody to roll initiative. We're going into Legion battle!
Oh, God.
It's time to
Oh,
die,
no.
motherfuckers!
Holy Spirit.
If I
activate.
had a
Holy
if I had a
Spirit,
table
activate.
skull, I would be putting it on the table right now.
Yep.
I mean, I promise to help you guys with Legion. There's a lot more than Legion here.
Yeah, just
There
off
is
behind you.
focus on
God,
Legion, butthead.
Zatsu is just like,
Oh my goodness, Nemric! I didn't expect to see you here. How are you doing?
Oh.
How are you doing?
I went to college
You
with
must
this
die.
guy.
We made trail mix together. You're not doing this to me. We made trail mix.
Oh my god. Wow.
I swear.
They did
Nemric,
make these
trail mix was our thing. How good you?
Oh my
You
god.
must die!
I'm just weak to it.
all right, and then we get all the giggles out, and reality reasserts itself, and then we fight Legion. The Chain Devil's going to
good.
go.
Oh, no.
no.
Not again.
I'm about to get bullied.
Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, Vogan, you are pushed back, and you
What?
barely catch yourself trying to grab onto the chain links that form the fence here. As you do, you find they begin splintering and forming spikes on them. They become barbed and begin moving as if animated. And the Chain Devil is going to it's going to rush forward. It's going to get up to about here. As it gets up, actually, you might be, yeah, there's a ranged attack. You're actually going to...
Oh, thank God.
Boomerang's gonna
I was
help
going
you.
to ask, like, is it a ranged
Yeah, it's a ranged attack, technically. All right. And he is going to go for... Just bringing up some notes. He's going to go for 2 attacks. Vogan, he strikes at you. He... Oh? Oh no, I was wrong. It's a melee attack with a range of 10.
Damn it!
I was on your side. I was trying. Then
You gave me hope.
Then I reread it. I'm so sorry. Vogan, it hits you. You take maximum damage. You take 16.
Ow.
Ow, indeed. As it does,
Rude.
the chains that you try to grab onto on the side bind you and grapple you, holding you in place and piercing into you.
Am I prone and grappled?
You are.
You're a bitch!
I'm sorry.
Damn.
I'm not actually, but I am.
You're a bitch! You're actually a bitch!
And I'm just
Ah.
quickly going to reveal some of these. So
I
39.
choose to believe every time Spencer fights with the DM, it's actually just Vogan screaming to the heavens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me what you owe, you bastards!
13,
Oh, what
and
the fuck? What the fuck?
Those are his chains.
Oh, God.
he is animating the chains around him. He had been doing that since he got here.
Is one on me now?
Yes, this one is restraining you. These can move. Like, these just represent the side, so I just put them there because it was the easiest thing to do. Gonna
Can they
move
be
them.
attacked?
If you could try to break them, that is a thing that you could definitely try to do.
Okay.
And then he is going to... I'm just going to make sure I don't accidentally pelt you guys with too many attacks. Give me just one momo.
I don't want to be too mean.
Sorry
God.
about Typhoon, okay?
Yep.
Typhon.
Fenris, I'm just going to target the lot of you, because it's going to also... It has another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going after all of you. Chains begin moving and lashing out at all of you.
I disagree. When I use cutting words.
On which one?
The one attacking me.
Okay, the one
Is
attacking.
this a save?
No. This is an attack.
Yeah, it's an attack roll. A -4 from the one attacking me.
Uncanny dodge. Roll.
Okay, just give me a second.
Oh,
Just give me a second,
Hold up,
guys.
hold up.
Everyone
Yeah,
stop.
sorry. I just remembered something.
Again, okay, so Miriam, where was yours? Attack, it hit you. Yours was. You're at. No, it still hits you, Miriam.
Yeah, it's. I shouldn't cutting words things that attack me.
You keep doing it. And every
Aviana.
time I'm like, it's gonna hit.
Aviana, so you're uncanny dodging? Okay, I am going to remove you from it real quick because I can't just reduce the damage on you. So
That's fair.
Fenris, Miriam, and Sunder, you are all hit.
Alright.
So you all take 10 damage.
Oh, I just barely made that contact.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to say that 10 would have applied to you as well, Aviana. You would have resisted it, Avi. However, because they hit you all, you are all grappled and restrained.
Oh
my god.
No.
Well, that's annoying.
With the exception of 2 of you. We'll say Avi, since you dodged, because these ones would... no, actually, it wouldn't be. It just means that he can't attack anymore. Yeah, you'd all be grappled and restrained.
We
Chain-
got this, Fluck.
Chains bind you, lash out, form a veritable series of spider webs, effectively of chains, that hold you all in place. Lexi, you're free, and the rest of you are bound. I'm just going to move these. So we'll say Avi, that one's on you. This one's on Sunder. This one's on Miriam. And Fenris, you are being held by the Chain Devil itself.
Oh no! That's awful.
It is.
Ooh.
Lexi.
Yeah, man.
Second legendary action from Legion.
Come on. Fuck.
Oh no.
I'm
Great.
done.
Great sword
No.
comes down on you.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done, though.
It
I ain't got
hits.
no uncanny. I'm done. I'm bye.
It strikes. Lexi, you take 47
Oh my
damage
God.
and you survive.
I have 3 hit points.
You must make a strength
Oh my
save, which you fail.
God.
Fuck.
Until the end of your next turn, you have disadvantage on attack rolls based on strength or dexterity, as you are struck by him. Vogan, you take, from the piercing chains digging into you, 9 damage.
Okay, you bastards. How do you feel about lightning? I will do that. I'm gonna use Orbis to get all 3
Of those.
the Hellhound, the Chain, and the Chain Devil.
Gotcha.
I'm not gonna target myself because I'm just gonna take it all as, temporary.
Yeah.
Should I? Can the Chain make a dex save?
The chain... I'll tell you in a second.
Like, it's grappling and restraining me, and if I fail, like...
Give me 1 sec.
Sure.
For the purposes of this, I think it would make just a regular, straight out, save against it. I do think it would account for the devil trying to maneuver it. But yeah, you choosing to auto-fail, unfortunately, I'm not, for the purposes of mechanics over reality, I'm gonna say that would not cause it to auto-fail, if that's what you're getting at.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll target it and just have it make a save then.
Gotcha.
Bam!
Here they come.
Here they come.
The Hellhound succeeds, the chain and the devil fail.
Such a dexterous pupper. Well,
Let him go.
take that.
Hell yeah.
That chain is destroyed, lightning rips down
Hell
and
yeah.
tears it apart. And Gizatsu takes 28 damage. You use Central Aura, and I assume you gain that as temporary hit points.
Yes. I'm gonna use Central Aura. And I also
temporary hit
have
points.
resistance to lightning damage if that comes up
And
ever.
we have pointed out that it does not.
Huh?
Oh, you mean just from Central Aura? I see.
Oh, just from Central
well,
Aura, yeah.
we don't. That's sorry. I thought you were counting up your temporary hit points, which I was like, nah. You also reduced them because of your mask, so.
Mm-hmm. So 28 temporary hit points. I get up.
Eh.
I stand up. And I walk over here, and I'm gonna Dragon Surge.
I don't care for you. One sec.
I'm
One
not
sec.
a fan of you.
Just 1 sec while I remove the
Fuck 'em
effects
up,
that were
Logan.
on you.
Fuck 'em up.
Okay, you're good. Go.
All right. I'm gonna bonus action summon Orbis.
Mm-hmm.
So. Boop, boop. And I'm gonna make some attacks. Hey y'all. It's a 19 hit.
That hits.
Okay. I'm gonna put I want this guy dead. I'm gonna Scorpion mark him in grit.
Okay.
Get him.
Get him, get him, get him. Death. Death for you.
You strike. That's 19 damage.
Alright. Second attack. Oh,
That's-
wait, overwhelming advance.
Okay.
Oh,
Hup.
You really want him dead?
I'm dabbing. I want you to
him
know.
dead. Huh?
I'm dabbing. I want you to know I'm dabbing.
Oh, I hate you.
Overwhelming advance. That was such a tease.
It was such a bitch.
You hit.
God.
All right, I'll take that.
He takes
Doesn't
another
matter.
23 points of damage.
Okay. That's gonna be me.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'm getting the
Butts.
heck out of here. I'm gonna Misty Step.
Okay. The grapple and the restraint would both disappear if you misty step out of them. To Legion. Excellent.
Why?
Why?
Leave me!
Yeah.
I'm not letting you die! You're my best friend, you bitch!
Mr. Lucius.
That's what they call.
Mr. Lucius is gonna be like, and then he's gonna turn around and probably deal with these things because Legion's scary.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Early ads.
Hey, bad dog.
Oh.
That should really hurt him. It is.
Yeah, you think about what you did.
Damn.
Poor dog.
It takes 12 damage.
Uh,
Oh no.
then I'll bonus action cast a healing word.
It's the thing of like,
We're already trying to kill
no,
us.
no. All right. And that's you?
Then I cast bonus action healing word, and I need to maybe move. Maybe, yeah. Let's go over here. Let's go hang out with the dog.
Yeah.
Bad. You're a bad dog. Stop being
Oh my god.
Oh no.
12 can't do anything. He does not recharge. He's going to attack Mariam.
Oh no.
He attacks me.
I'd
Hey,
like
hey,
to
over here.
sentinel him. He's
He
within
misses.
5 feet.
You gonna what?
Sentinel.
Get him.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
Very bad. Bad
you
at
get
biting too. You missed me. You missed me. Bad dog.
Oh.
Fly the sneak attack through the wormhole of Yuna!
Hell yeah.
Right snack attack, motherfucker. Yeah.
My bonus shot.
Between turns.
Fireball.
Oh,
Oh my god.
no. No.
God.
Yeah, y'all are kind of grouped up. Like that's
Legendary action fireball.
Swings his weapon towards the group. As he does, a fissure appears above you, and Vogan, you find your body being pulled up. Vogan, strength save coming at you. You're pretty good at these.
Of course he's gonna fail.
Yeah, why'd you say that?
Why'd you have to say
You are pulled
that?
up, lifted above the ground, pulled up into it, and it slams shut. And Vogan, you find yourself in an empty space. You are incapacitated.
I've been banished. I was banished.
Banished.
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
fuck.
no.
No.
I'm just thinking because like I'm not sure how long he's gonna be gone, and I would rather not use my final spell. And also, I'm pretty sure the extra fire damage isn't gonna do shit to this boy. Let's go with a. How much HP do I got? I got some decent HPs. He's gonna try to kill me anyway. Might as well go fight a boy.
Bold of you.
I'm gonna pull out my rapier.
Oh god.
Do you
'Cause I
do?
can-
Do you make an attack? Like when you pull it out and point it towards him, you hear this just faint, swing. Like you just hear a voice audibly go swing.
Swing, swing.
Swing, swing. Yeah.
Every time you move it, you flick it a couple of times in your hand. You keep going swing, swoop, swing, which it has never done before.
I don't remember it having this property, but let's go. Let's go.
Let this
with-
remain as the greatest mystery of Nat19. Let us never explain this.
I'm going to use my bonus action to use my Flames of Passion
Okay.
to make my stuff go up, and also heckin' increase my crit range and all that good stuff.
Yep. The dahlia that is on your collar begins to glow with a fiery aura. Flames wreath around and cover you.
Heck yeah. And trying to make sure I'm correct on a thing. I think I am. Yes, I believe so. Alrighty. And I'm going to go for a hit on this boy. Looking at him like, this isn't what it looks like.
Wow.
And I strike him.
As you strike him, your sword once again just lets out a swing.
Does the swing hit?
Yes.
Yay! I'm just like looking at the sword.
As you hit Legion, his massive head just cranes down towards your rapier and then a little bit up to you. Just, what is that?
I don't know. Yeah!
Swing!
That was the damage. Let's go for my second attack. Hiya!
Swung!
Oh, I missed. Wait, or does it miss?
That hits.
No, it
Oh.
does. Yeah, it hits.
I think it just hits.
Hiya!
I'm not sure.
Hold on. Did you not, One sec. I'm checking nothing on your sheet.
Okay.
You said you're using your Flames of Passion, then you never actually added it to yourself?
Oh, I didn't do that thing that I was supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have come into play, apart from, let's see. Yeah, it wouldn't have... No, yeah, it would have. You would have done extra fire damage. I'm gonna give you a spoiler, it wouldn't have mattered, but...
Yeah, I didn't think it would.
Sure, yeah, but you said you were gonna put it on yourself, then you did, and I'm like, interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I'm a big dumb.
And I'm back.
Alright.
Hooray!
I'll use my bonus action already, so I can't do the thing I want to do.
That's you?
Just run away. Can I do any of these without using a bonus action? I cannot. I am now in front of Legion, and I'm gonna take another step this way, just like... I feel like I understand what I should do now. And that is, of course, not fight against you. I am my turn.
I'm going to kill you either way.
Hold him.
I run
Nah.
up to the hellhound and go, "You want the ball?" And I pretend to throw it off the bridge, and then I shove it, and I'm going to use cutting words on the dogs.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
Just the rapid succession of things. Okay. roll the cunning words immediately.
Negative 7.
Okay, roll a shove against him. Use the generic action.
You got this, Miriam.
You got 10. It says you can't do it because you are an effect. What effect are you? What's going on with you?
Wall of Force. It's the only effect I see on me currently.
Yeah.
Wall of Force. Concentration. Cannot shove while target. Oh, because he's something? 9.
Oh, he's
Oh, because it's still
damage to
listed.
me
Yes.
faster.
Okay, so you rolled a 10. I'll just roll his. Thing myself. Boop. Okay, so he got a 1. Actually, he would have gotten. Yeah, he got a 1. So you push him, you shove him. He falls into the water below, and I'm going to remove him. He is now out of this battle.
Look at them all.
So sad.
Hi, Flex.
Hello, Lexi. How are you doing over here?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Flux. Not so good.
I will hopefully be able to do something about that in a moment. But right
If
now,
you
I can
throw
only...
those spiders at me, I swear to God.
I am sorry. My healing is entirely spider-based.
He's just got a glass jar of spiders just ready to smash into your head.
It's like at least uncork the jar first.
No,
bonus
letting her when you
action.
throw it at people.
Legion takes a step back.
Okay. And an 8 here.
That misses.
Yeah. Well, good thing I have one of these boys. Yeah.
That misses.
I didn't see this coming. Oh.
Steps. Throws a knife back at Miriam. For those listening, that was a 1. That wasn't that 1.
Yeah.
You know? Alright. Bonus action. B.
Oh, there you go.
How many attacks have you done? 1.
I did, my fucking main one, innate, extra, and this is my bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. There it is.
Damn.
Wow.
Every time.
I don't know.
Holy
it's
shit.
really fucking funny to me though.
Oh.
It's so funny because he's 30 feet tall, right? I'm like right at like faceplate level with this motherfucker.
Yeah, dude. Like, what's up, Kaka?
Kaka, bitch.
He's more than 30
All
feet
right.
tall.
And that's gonna be Aviana.
All right. Between turns, legendary action.
Go.
Taking an attack and
Goodbye,
he's
Sunder.
taking it on Sunder.
Goodbye, Sunder.
Oh my God.
Sorry,
no.
honey.
I should have advantage because he's prone. I just haven't marked him, so I'll roll it again. It hit, but let's see if it crits. It did not crit.
I was gonna say, if he crits, he might die.
Strikes!
Yeah.
There we go.
Sunder takes 52 damage as Legion strikes the blade down on him, bludgeoning him with the greatsword, and then just brings up a foot and slams it down into Sunder's chest. The foot being almost as big as even the enlarged Sunder. It is then Sunder's turn. Can Sunder make a death save?
Nice!
Oh shit!
Hey! Oh my God! What the fuck is wrong with you?
People are just cooking. That's a natural 1.
Cackling at Nat1, you sick fuck!
What the hell is wrong with
This energy you're bringing to the table here.
Hey Spencer, I'm just gonna let you know right now, next time you come into town, I'm gonna kick your knees out.
Oh,
That is a threat.
You're gonna have to
Damn.
find me first.
It won't be hard. You're very tall and I'm small and mighty.
Flux!
All right. Let's see, Master Lexi. What's your health looking like? You're moderate. Yeah, you can
Moderate.
use some healing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, while I'm here.
Spiders, Flux.
I'm sorry, Master Lexi. It's the only way.
They're good for you.
He's just looming over her, like.
Sadly unsealing jar. Oh, second level cure wounds. Enough with these ones! What? What? Every heal I've had is an 11 today.
Huh. Theme.
That is weird. Alright.
This is horrible, but thank you, Flux.
I will feel better shortly, I'm sorry.
Why did you pick spiders as your motif? Why?
They're the perfect organism, why would I not? Bonus action shoot Legion.
Yeah.
You fire. That's a crit.
Oh, nice!
Oh, hell yeah! Take that!
As you hit him, Legion falls down to one knee briefly on the bridge.
Ooh.
Oh.
Bonk. You got bonked severely.
A severe bonking.
A severe bonking.
If you will.
Legion stands. He is going to... He rises up into the air by about 30 feet, raises one of his hands up. A ball of fire appears within it.
Oh no.
Enough. You have proven to be quite damaging. But I grow tired. I will take what you have and leave.
He just about begins to try to throw the fire blast down towards the ground. As he does, very suddenly, the rift above you that had been casting the red light snaps shut. Legion turns and looks up towards it, surprised.
What? Life.
Looks down specifically over at Miriam.
What have you done?
It wasn't me this time.
You see above it, the mists that surround you have formed a point above you. A dome has appeared. And they begin to rapidly compress inward.
What the hell is happening?
What trickery is this?
Who or what is doing this?
The bridge, having been severely damaged, begins cracking. The outer pillars break, Lexi. The one that you're standing on begins to shudder and fall. Sunder, trying to stand the part of the bridge that he is on, shifts as well. The dogs begin barking rapidly as the part of the bridge that you're on, Vogan, also starts to shift. The bridge is effectively going to let go. You rock it down. As it lets go, Lexi, you leap up towards him. He grabs you, pulls you up, and holds you. Flux, you start to feel weight as this mist wall presses inward and envelops all of you. You start to feel it pulling you all down as your vision becomes to be obscured. Nemric, you feel this as well, and you find yourself unable to stay in the air under the weight of this pulling you towards the ground, and you all see the glowing form of Legion silhouetted due to the furnace-like glow from within his armor within the mist. You see him also being pulled down as the bridge collapses, and finally there's a great shudder as it breaks.
As Miriam sees the bridge cracking, he just walks to the side and spreads one hand wide out like a showman, turns, and then just falls backwards off the side.
As you do.
Wow.
Vogan, Nemric, as you rush forward and try to grab onto him, you grab him, Vogan, briefly, and you manage to pull him up and away. And Vogan, you feel something actually pull you up and out and away from the mist, and you find you are pushed off to the side and shunted onto part of the bridge that remains standing. As you see the mists have thickened specifically in that area, you roll off to the side. The waves begin to swirl and move like rapids. The water's composition begins to change as if it's consistently shifts from being that faint bluish color it was before to a sickly combination of green and pinkish hues that reflect some source of light that is not evident. As you are pulled by it, the mist continues to thicken to the point that you can't see in front of you. You can hear the others calling out desperately as the waves thrash and pull them around. But the sky continues to darken above, light continues to disappear, and then the strangest sensation, the smell of incense, fills the air across you. You all smell it, the indistinct aroma of incense burning. Pleasant. An irony imposed against the violent nature of the storm that has taken to grip you. You all end up fighting for what seems like an hour, but it could have been an instant for how violent it is, for how much you get lost in it. As you're all pulled through the waves, as this storm of mist and water continues to rattle and pull at you, Miriam, underwater, the next thing you see, the sudden movement below you of what appears to be a massive tentacle, shifting. One that is thicker than you by far. You see under the water as well, Legion, thrashing as if he's being pulled down, igniting flames below the water so hot they continue to burn, just balls of energy, as it casts them down towards whatever's below you, and you see the monstrous form of a creature. This writhing mass of tentacles extending out below you farther than you can see, briefly illuminated by the blasts of fire that whip by its body. As these tentacles whip up, and those of you on the surface of the water, you start to see the shadow of these tentacles break it. These Goliath, monstrous appendages break the surface of the water and begin moving around. They batter, they cause more disturbance, more waves. Upheavals of water scatter you about. You then see, Miriam, you're taking a good vantage point, actually. You then see from below the water the shining form of what appears to be a large serpentine creature, separate from whatever the writhing mass of tentacles is. This expansive, almost endless, snake-like body of what you see in one moment to have the head of a dragon, of arms along it, a mane of hair moving along its back, moving below the water, equally massive. Its body, serpentine as it is, thick, very wide. Its
like
scales,
like a Chinese dragon,
like an imperial dragon.
It's the great protector.
Its body covered in blue, like azure blue and gold scales. The hurricane level force of the water causes you all to shift, pulls you down under the water. Miriam, even you lose sight of everything, and then there's a sudden calm. And you all hear a voice, indistinct, one that you've never heard, just whispering slowly. As even underwater you see what appears to be the form of a moon, cold and pale, visible below the ocean. And the voice slowly utters, "There is no blood in Honokuni. Only a feast never-ending. A plate of corpses, ever piled high, illuminated by the beating red heart above." Everything goes calm. You all find yourself in pitch darkness. And after a moment, you all settle up to the surface of water, still shrouded in mist, but the turbulence has ended. You find yourself just on a sea of this greenish pink water, drifting aimlessly. The smell of incense still hanging in the air. You can all vaguely see one another from where you are. The dragon and whatever the creature was appear to have disappeared. The sky is not visible above for the mist.
Is everyone okay?
I think so.
I think so.
Start doing a head count. Wait,
Something pulled him out of my hands.
we're missing Vogan and Sunder.
Did they fall farther away from us?
The mist on the bridge. I tried to grab him, but he pulled or moved onto the...
What happened there?
something
I'll get to that and I'll explain that in a moment. For context for you, when it was pretty difficult to keep track of what was happening. You had Vogan 1 second, the next he seemed just to be gone.
Yeah. He's just like looking at it like, I thought I fucking had him.
They're strong. They'll be fine. They probably got to the other side.
Where did
Better
Legion
they've been
go?
taken elsewhere. Last I saw him, he was being dragged into the deep.
Let's hope he stays there.
I doubt it.
As you walk forward along this rickety dock, again seeing what looks to be the abandoned remains of some ships and others that look like they've been destroyed, half bits of them remaining. All of you almost feeling like something's going to jump out at you any moment. As you move forward, there's a large upheaval of water as you see the massive form of Legion rise up and slam himself down at the end of the dock. Despite the fact that you take him to be a creature that doesn't have the usual biology that would accommodate it, you hear him breathing heavily. Just...
Where are we?
Buddy!
I heard the word Honokuni. It'll do for now.
Why have you brought us here?
I didn't do anything.
None of
We're
us
done.
to us.
Indeed.
If anything,
Seems
it came
that-
from that crack in the sky you made. The mist started going sporadic afterwards.
No, I destroyed that.
He turns,
Hey.
he brings his sword up and slashes it towards the air. The mist spreads as if cut, and there's a second of silence. Legion lowers his giant greatsword.
What?
Oh, that's not good.
It appears you're trapped here with us, Dog of Fiona.
Fine. I will find answers here. And my hunt will resume.
And he stops as the resounding sound of a metal footstep upon wood on the dock cuts him off. And you guys see walking down a set of what looks like stairs that have been built leading up the bank of this dock. At the end of it, you see a figure walking forward, wearing robes that again resemble more like what you might expect Elmira to be wearing. Walking forward, they seem to have a sword with a absurdly long handle placed within a scabbard at their hip. They wear white clothes stained with blood, armor, breastplate, metal gauntlets, unkempt but tied back black hair, and a mantle that looks like it's meant to emulate the wings of a dragon, of a silver dragon, with fur lining the hood. A relatively handsome-looking man who appears to have vaguely elven features, perhaps half-elven, walking forward. Here's art for him.
Ooh.
God, he's hot.
He stops.
Oh no!
Whenever I would have heard the footstep, could I have turned into my LV form?
Sure.
Okay.
He stops, looking down at the ground. Not head down, but his eyes just nod upon you as his eyes slowly raise up to look to each of you. Guests of Honokuni, welcome to the Banquet Prefecture. You are expected to attend dinner with my lord, Semre Saigo. As he speaks, you hear a crash behind you as Legion leaps up from the dock.
You! I demand to know where
He raises his weapon up. You hear splashing as the same kraken-like tentacles you've seen before whip up out of the water and bind him, moments before he can make contact with this individual who doesn't even flinch. Legion tries to push forward. You hear him struggling.
You are. What do you know?
As he is pulled back, Legion is lifted up into the air, pulled down into the water with a massive splash. You see the waves moving as he fights. Flashes of red light under the water that slowly subside, and the water becomes still. As if unfazed, the man looks from where he entered the water back to you. I advise you, not be late. Best not test the patience of the moon above. And he turns and starts walking back the way he came. As we pull away from you guys, Vogan.
Yeah.
On the bridge, when this was all happening, you find yourself rolling to the other side of the bridge as the very large body of Sunder appears to have grabbed you midair and somehow propelled the two of you over onto the bridge, pulling you out of what happened. As in pain as he is, he seems to have wrenched you out of it and pulled you two to safety.
Thanks, buddy. Are you okay?
One good jump. I was lucky. Yeah, I'm fine. What happened?
I don't know. Something really weird. He like looks over the edge down at the water below.
You see the area. The mist is gone. The encroaching mists that had surrounded the water, even before things became more active, appear to have subsided as if they got what they came for. There's just a large absence in the bridge, where everyone else appears to have vanished.
Where the hell did everybody go?
I don't know. What are we?
Looks. He fucking like looks like across the bridge, like back where they came and back like where they were going towards. What the hell did we do?
I don't know.
The way we were going was like towards like the cauldron, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe they'll wash up on either shore.
Yeah, maybe. That's might be really lucky. I guess here, shrink down and I can you can lean on my shoulder.
Thanks.
Yeah.
He leans. The adrenaline leaving his system, Sunder shrinks and becomes clearly a lot more weary than he was a second ago.
Let's get a move on.
As you two turn and aimlessly walk forward on the bridge and towards the direction of the cauldron. And as the others gaze upon this foreign landscape that two of them are familiar with, that full ghostly moon hanging overhead, illuminating an otherwise starless, dark night, that is where we're going to end today's game. YouTube, we're going to take off. We'll see you guys when we see you.
Bye-bye.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.